Today I'm going to be discussing the best and the worst thing that the main characters of regular show have done, whether that's being praised as a almighty hero or killing hundreds of people. The regular show characters have done some really good things and some really bad things, and I'm going to be diving into those today. And if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. At 30k I'm going to be cosplaying as Muscle Man and doing a hot dog eating contest. And if you want a place where you can talk about your favorite shows, movies, games, cartoons, you want to give me video ideas, you want to share art, my Discord will be in the description. It's a great place to hang out. Now let's discuss the best and worst thing that every regular show character has done. Alright, so the first character we're going to be taking a look at is Mordecai, and of course we're going to start with the worst, because people just love feeding on the horrible things that people have done, and the worst thing that Mordecai did, just by far, is cheating on CJ, and not just that exact moment. I mean, that exact moment is horrendous. I mean, your girlfriend leaving to go to the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, you just can't resist that sweet, succulent Margaret ass. Oh my god, the memories. Oh, Margaret, come here. Just giving her a big old smooch.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean to do that.
I mean, Mordecai? No, it's not.
CJ, wait!
Like, can you imagine, like, just going to the bathroom and then you just walk out and your boyfriend's just smooching another girl? Like, CJ literally got told that this is the girl that she has nothing to worry about, and oh man, it's just a horrendous moment. But it's also the fact that it was so avoidable if Mordecai would have just confronted his feelings early on. I mean, we find out all the way back in season 5 in the episode I Like You High that Mordecai is still waiting for Margaret to come back. He hasn't confronted those feelings, he doesn't know how to feel, and he feels like he hasn't gotten closure. How can it be fair for him to date CJ when he still thinks about Margaret?
I really like CJ. She's amazing. But is it fair for me to go out with her if I still think about Margaret sometimes?
That should have been a moment for Mordecai to realize that he shouldn't date CJ to begin with, because he's still thinking about another girl. And that never stopped, even when their relationship was at its peak, when they were doing well, when they were helping each other with their parent lives, they were genuinely forming a true bond. Mordecai was still thinking about Margaret. So, eventually when he does see her, he's just overrun with emotions, and not to say that Margaret isn't the problem too, she should have known better as well, but they smooch. And then it's everything that happens after that that genuinely just brings Mordecai's character from up to here, all the way down to here, so quickly, because then you immediately have the episode Sad Sacks, where Mordecai for the entire episode just begs and pleads with CJ, oh please take me back, please take me back, it was a mistake, it was a mistake. And you would think if Mordecai's going to go through all this trouble for weeks to try to get CJ back, which he eventually does, CJ takes him back for whatever stupid reason. I wish that she would have said no, so that Mordecai would have had some great character arc moments and would have been like, okay, I need to go on a journey of self-discovery, not date Margaret, and then eventually apologize to CJ meaningful, not with the intention of getting back with her. That could have been a great character arc. I would have loved that, but that's not what we got. He gets back with her, and then literally just a couple episodes later, they paint CJ as a villain in 1000 Chopper Flight Party, and Mordecai has the audacity, when he hears that Margaret has a boyfriend, to just go like this. Like, why are you sad?
Hey, Margaret.
Like, make up your mind, dude. I get it. Relationships are hard, but if you're going to put the amount of effort that you put in to be with CJ just to be sad about Margaret all the time, I cannot feel sorry for you. And then going into Not a Great Double Date, we find out that, oh, Margaret has feelings for Mordecai. Oh my god, the drama. What's Mordecai going to do? And then we get to dump to the altar, and Mordecai has a hot woman that he likes here, a hot woman that he likes there, and he ends up giving the worst speech of all time, just talking to the entire, just everybody that he knows, just hijacking his friend's wedding, and ultimately not ending up with either of them, and not even going on a journey of self-discovery and really apologizing to any of them. That is the end of Mordecai's love triangle, and it's abysmal, it's awful, and it is the worst part of Mordecai's story. Now, if I was going to talk about Mordecai's best moment, I think it's easily just throughout the entire episode of excellent. Seeing Rigby going to a coma just for eating eggs is already a very stupid concept, something that shouldn't really have had such a deep episode, but immediately following that up with Benson just not understanding the gravity of the situation and just saying, well, if you guys were working, this wouldn't have happened, and Mordecai punching him in the face was a great moment for his character, showing that he was willing to stand up for his friend.
None of this would have happened.
Mordecai, what are you doing?
What's your problem? This has nothing to do with work. He just wanted the hat.
Does he lose those qualities as the show progresses? Yeah, a little bit. But right here, he was full best friend Mordecai, and I just always love this moment where he punches Benson in the face and is willing to stand up for him. And then just his journey of learning how to actually beat the excellent challenge, how to save Rigby, and ultimately doing it, choosing the correct hat, and saving Rigby's life. It is a very good moment for Mordecai, and probably his best in the series. Now on to our little runty-ass raccoon, Rigby. What is the worst thing that he has done in the show? He has done a lot of really awful things, and I feel like it really depends on what you're considering. Like, morally, a lot of horrible things, but then if you want a realistic one, the one that I'm going to choose, one that genuinely impacted a character's just entire future, that is forging Mordecai's rejection letter to college university.
You don't do that to your best friend. You're the reason I'm stuck in this dead-end job!
I just think compared to a lot of the things that Rigby does, like yes, he's killed a lot of people, yes, he's held Mordecai back in other situations, but this one situation from the regular show movie is just so different from all of that because it genuinely changes Mordecai's entire future. Mordecai didn't really have a choice on whether or not he got to go to college university, and it's debatable on whether or not he would have stayed with Rigby anyway, or chose to go to art school so that he could stay closer to Rigby, or would have went to the park either way. But Mordecai never had that choice. You are not a true friend if you don't want to give your friend that opportunity. Rigby saw that Mordecai was obviously going to get in and wanted to make sure that he wouldn't be left behind. Obviously, it's a great moment that deals with Rigby's anxieties and fears of being left behind, but then again, it's still completely awful to do something like that to your friend. It was so awful, in fact, that Mordecai ended up becoming the villain of that movie, at least for a little bit, so much so that he betrayed all of his friends, he shot and killed future Rigby. He was willing to do anything because this hurt him that much. The only reason that our version of Mordecai didn't turn into that villain was because he watched the future version of himself die in a horrible explosion thanks to Mr. Ross. That is the only reason that our Mordecai doesn't go down that same path. So it clearly must have hurt Mordecai so unbelievably bad that he was willing to lose all of his friends, betray everybody in his life, and never really want to go back to that. So Rigby forging his rejection letter is easily the worst thing that he has ever done in regular show. Now, if we wanted to discuss the best thing Rigby has done, I think it's easily him graduating high school, and graduating high school isn't the most crazy sounding thing ever, but when you're a character like Rigby, it truly does feel so special, with him hearing about the Eileen plan, wanting to become smart, wanting to become better solely for her, solely to prove himself to her, and eventually doing it even for himself, getting to watch Rigby go to China and make his relationship with Benson better. That was a lot of fun. That rap was a lot of fun. Getting to watch him
So dear Benson, here's a letter where with it we bust out.
Bust out!
Informal language living.
Yo, don't be stressing ticks. We'll help you get a boo cause we know some adult chicks.
re-meet his high school teacher and ultimately make him a better person as well, beating him in a food run. That was a lot of fun. Just getting to watch Rigby go into all these random situations while you slowly see his character become more and more better. It was just really enjoyable. And then when you get all the way to Rigby's graduation day special, when he's up there giving that speech and saying that once you do the hard stuff, it's not that hard anymore.
Let my success today lift you up so that you too can do great, hard things. And after you, more people.
It just feels so special, and I'm so glad that in a show like Regular Show, you can see this just giant, massive character arc spanning from season 1 all the way to season 7 for Rigby, and I think it's one of the best character arcs in the entire show, and definitely the best part of Rigby's story. Now looking into Benson's character, his worst moment is easily in the episode Excellent. A lot of people will just immediately jump to the burger episode, but objectively, Mordecai and Rigby have done so much worse to Benson, whether it's stealing his food, farting into his coffee, yeah, they used to love to do that, or just ultimately lying to him. Benson has shown so much forgiveness, so for Benson to eat their burgers just one time, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. But in the episode Excellent, what's wrong with you, dude? Okay, so imagine you're just sitting there, you're at lunch, your best friend goes into a coma, they say, oh, he might never wake up again, he might just be brain dead, he might die, oh my gosh, you must be feeling such heavy emotions right now. And while you're just dealing with those heavy emotions that you might lose your best friends forever, all of a sudden, just behind you hear, well, I hope you learned something from this. None of this would have happened if you were just working.
Happened.
Mordecai, what are you doing?
What's your problem? This has nothing to do with work.
He just wanted the hat.
And look where it got him. Your friend over there is only gonna get you into trouble.
Yeah, I completely understand why Mordecai would punch him in the face here. Why would you say something so unbelievably stupid to somebody that is clearly grieving the potential loss of their best friend? I understand where they were going for this. They wanted to create a real moment and character progression for Benson, but it doesn't take away the fact that this was the dumbest possible thing he could have ever said. Like, who is genuinely staring at basically Rigby's just little corpse here, his just unbreathing, lifeless corpse, and is just like, yeah, man, okay, great time to teach a lesson. Mordecai! Mordecai, if you were just working. I mean, is he wrong? If they were just doing their jobs, would this have happened? No, but who's to say that they wouldn't went on their lunch break anyway and Rigby still would have chosen to eat those eggs? Why would you say something like this? What is the point? I don't get it. It's stupid, and it is just obviously Benson's worst moment in the entire show. Now, if I'm going to think about Benson's best moment, a moment that truly just outshines everything, I mean, he's very forgiving. That is something that I have to take into consideration. So I could choose to just talk about the Parky Awards, his Ultimate Appreciation episode. I love the end of that episode a lot, where it's just Benson giving his speech. It just means a lot. It's a great moment for him.
This is really the best award I could win. I'd like to thank all of you guys, not just for being the best staff I've worked with, but also being the best friends I could ask for. Because of you, every day I come into work, I feel like a true winner.
But I think if I'm going to pick anything, it's going to be an epic Benson moment, and it's going to be a 150-piece kit. The best part of Benson's story is where you learn something new about him just over and over again. Whether you learn that he's a drummer, that he used to be in a rock band, that he was a pro at stick hockey, that he went on a old TV show and said bandana instead of banana, a lot of stuff like that. Benson's story is just slowly uncovering more and more about him. By the time we get to a 150-piece kit, though, we already know that Benson is cool. This is just elevating that to a brand new status and making him seem like the ultimate badass. When Heir to the Throne comes to the park, and they're like, "You didn't play that solo, Benson. You can't play that solo, Benson. Oh, what happened to your hair, Benson?"
Oi, what happened to your hair, Benson?
It's hereditary!
They're just being very mean to him, and Benson goes out of his way to set up his entire kit basically by himself because Mordecai and Rigby even ditch him. He sets it all up, gets it under that stage with a little bit of help from the guys, and you just hear boom, 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 boom. It just goes up, and he's all like, "My name is Benson, and I can play this solo," and just starts, drumming it up here, drumming it up there, drumming it up everywhere.
My name is Benson. And I can play this solo. What the?
It's just so great. I love it. It's probably the most epic thing Benson has ever done, playing a 150-piece kit. When he eventually gets all the way into like that sky cage and it's coming down and his skeleton literally catches on fire because of how quick his movements are. How much cooler could you need? That was awesome. That was so cool. That is 100% Benson's best moment in the entire show. Now, when we're looking at Muscle Man, I feel like it all comes down to, you know who else has killed a lot of people? Muscle Man has killed so many people, and a lot of people will probably point to Muscle Man's pranks and be like, "Oh, Muscle Man dropping a bed on top of Pops was probably the worst thing he ever did." No, it's not. Muscle Man literally sat there just being like, "I want my money," and then beheaded a guy. He just spin kicked a guy's head off and just brutally murdered people in the entirety of the episode Big Winner with really no remorse. Yeah. I mean, it's not like anybody in the park ever really has remorse when they kill people. Nobody ever seems to care. But still, he's just killing so many people in the entire time. I'm just thinking, wow, these security guards, like, they're not even the villain of the episode. They probably have a family to go home to, a daughter, a wife. The wife's probably cooking something on the stove, being all like, "Oh gosh, I can't wait until he gets home. I made his favorite meal for his birthday, I really thought about taking him out, using my hard-earned money to support him, but I really worked hard on this dinner," and then she just gets mailed his head, or better yet, the kick from Muscle Man beheading this guy sent his head all the way over to his wife's house and just landed in the frying pan. How great is that? How incredible is that to think about, these poor security guards just risking their lives fighting this giant green man? Yeah, probably didn't go over well. In terms of the best thing, aneurysm. In terms of the best thing Muscle Man has ever done in the show, I would probably say that it's going to be spreading his dad's hat ashes. I don't know, there's just something so special about watching Muscle Man just be so into his father. He just loves his father so much, he's praising him the entire episode, and then it must be such a gut punch to find out that your father has been lying to you his entire life. Every single time he's been out on the road, lying to him about being a trucker, faking the horn, Muscle Man really loved that job, and he was excited for his father, but to find out that his dad was lying to him and he's actually a forklift driver, that must have hurt, even though that's not the craziest drop-off in the world. It's not like he's a sex worker or something, but, you know, he drives forklifts, so it still must have hurt a little bit. Muscle Man still decides to go through with it with the help of Mordecai and Rigby, driving all the way to that mountain, fighting ghosts, fighting the other truckers, and spreading his dad's ashes. It's just a great moment for his character, a great moment for the friendship between Mordecai, Rigby, and Muscle Man. And I also just really like the talk between his dad and Muscle Man. I just thought it was really great. Now, if we're going to take a look at our main man, Skips, I think the moment that I could usually pinpoint as his worst moment in the series is killing Rigby. When Rigby is pranking him using Playco Armboy, we get to see a different side of Skips, because Skips had in fact not seen this before. He was struggling immensely with the fact that Rigby could possibly be stronger than him in arm wrestling. He couldn't handle it, to the point where he's going around, he eventually smashes Mordecai and Rigby's game.
No.
I said I want a rematch.
I'm busy.
He is just so unbelievably angry, and he only finds out about it because Mordecai pities him and tells him about Playco Armboy. And Skips, being the rational man that we've seen many times before, the rational man that, cares a lot about his friends, he starts training and powering up and goes to the restaurant to confront Rigby. And you would think, he's just gonna beat him in arm wrestling, right? No. Skips, he rips off the Playco Armboy, just rips it off, is holding it above him, and Skips, you just go like this. He's very angry, so I understand, I guess, but still, you have to be very, divisive when, you're deciding between if you're going to just arm wrestle him or brutally murder him, because, genuinely, going like this is very different from going like this, and then like this. Because that's what he does. We have that classical music playing in the background as Skips literally grips Rigby's body, lifts him up into the air, and smashes him through the table. Yeah, and Rigby just dies. Rigby's dead. Rigby has died more than anybody else in the show, and it makes for really good television. I love watching Rigby die, unfortunately, and it's still really funny. Don't get me wrong, I love Over the Top. It's a great episode, but still, killing Rigby probably not your best moment because you did not have to lift him up like that. As for Skip's best moment, I think it's definitely avenging Mona after she passes away. It's a very sad episode. All of Skip's story is really sad, but just the moment where Mona jumps into the way, saves Skip's life, shoves him out of the way, and the ceiling collapses onto her.
Time for this.
And Skips, just with rage in his body, just grabs the Fist of Justice, starts laying it into Chloribane, gives his little monologue, just, no more fear, no more bullying, no more Chloribane, and then sends him up into space, sending him away for 200 whole years.
No more fear, no more bullying, no more Chloribane.
And eventually becoming immortal so that he could fight Chloribane again and again and again. It is a great moment for his character, and overall I thought it was a really good story for how he became immortal, and even though it was very sad, he did avenge her death, so I still think it's a great moment. Oh, jolly good show! Let's take a look at our main man, Pops! What is the worst thing that Pops has ever done? Oh, well, Pops being all like, oh, Benson, you cannot yell at Mordecai and Rigby ever again. If you yell, you're fired! Jolly good show! Yeah, that's probably definitely the worst thing that Pops has ever done. Pops is a very good character. He kind of stays the same for the entire show, eventually getting his moments in season 8, but he's pretty much the same guy all the time, and he never really messes up. But this was the one time where he was kind of acting out of character, which is why I usually pinpoint it as his worst moment in the series, because, I mean, well, I could kind of just show you everything this leads to, just so many moments of displeasure for Benson, where he's telling Benson that he can't be angry, and so Benson gets very angry when Mordecai and Rigby lose the card and it gets stolen. Okay, that's one time.
Never mind. I think I know where they are.
And then Benson is just walking, and Mordecai and Rigby are throwing themselves through the shed, literally destroying it while trying to paint it, and Benson gets angry again.
88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96.
Benson tries to calm himself down with an audio tape, and ends up destroying all of the furniture in his apartment. Okay, all of this is still being caused by Pops, and then he turns into a literal sun and is, like, about to destroy everything in the park because he's holding in his anger, and only then does Pops realize that, oh, maybe I should let this guy yell. Okay, Benson, after seeing all the destruction to the park, I can confirm that you should be able to yell. Yeah, so then he yells, and he like, lays it all into Mordecai and Rigby.
You lazy, no-good slackers drive me nuts! Can't you just listen to me once in your worthless life?
But yeah, definitely Pops' worst moment in the show. As for Pops' best moment, could it really be anything else? I mean, him sacrificing himself to save the entire universe.
Don't worry, Mordecai and Rigby. I know you're sad, but I promise this is a happy ending.
Not only is the saddest moment in the entire show, but it is just such a good moment with Pops realizing that he has to do something different if he wants to save everything, if he doesn't want it all to reset and for this to all repeat. So he just hugs Anti-Pops, deciding to kill him in his way, just hugging him and flying him into the sun, sacrificing himself to save the entire universe. It's just such a sad moment. It truly is. It's really hard to watch Pops, of all people, be the one that has to do this, but I mean, at least everybody appreciates Pops in a brand new way whenever you're rewatching the show, and he has always been one of my favorite characters, and this just elevated him to a brand new status. Just a legendary character that was always a jolly good show. Now, I was debating even putting High Five Ghost on this list because he really doesn't do a whole lot in all of the 8 seasons, but he actually does have a best and a worst moment, and the worst moment is definitely in the episode Jinx, when Rigby sprints up to him, finds him, and is all like, dude, you gotta unjinx me, please unjinx me, and High Five Ghost is like, I can't, I'm jinxed too. Muscle Man jumps out of the bushes, punches him. He's just beating him for talking, and Rigby unjinxes him. The kindest thing that he could ever do. And High Five Ghost now just free from Muscle Man. He doesn't even have to be running away. Just in the most douchebag thing ever.
Help me.
Shut your mouth!
High five ghost! High five ghost! High five ghost!
Hey!
Woo!
Dude, help me back! No, wait!
Just floats away, still in earshot, hearing Rigby say, no, wait, please do it to me too! Yeah. Not the best moment for our little ghost guy, that's for sure. And then if we were looking at the best moment for High Five Ghost, it's either bagging a alt baddie all to himself with his ghostly features.
Yeah, there's something about watching animals that makes me feel really peaceful.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know how he did it. Or, I think it is the singular moment where he saves Muscle Man's life from the crash pit.
Saved me.
In the episode New Bro on Campus, they like crash into each other, creating the entire hole in the ground, and High Five Ghost is able to save his life, pulling him up out of there. I think that's definitely High Five Ghost's best moment.